We work so you can play. Mini War Gaming's Beat Map Batrep.
Welcome back to Beat Map Batrep, episode 15, Eldar vs. Tyranids. We are entering Tyranids, turn 3. So tons happened on turn 2, as you saw. Lots of Eldar died, and lots of Tyranids then died. The Doom Malachi is coming in. Unfortunately, he scatters way back from where I wanted to, which means he won't be in range of 3 squads. He was actually going to be in range of 3 squads if he landed where I wanted him to. So, and then my Hormagaunts managed to regroup because of Synapse. Not all of them are in Synapse, though. Actually, yes, these ones are in Synapse as well, so they're moving back towards the objective. The Hive Tyrant runs because he's just falling too far behind, and since I lost that Turvagon, I've lost a bit of my Synapse. Everybody else is moving up, getting ready to take some pot shots, and also getting ready to grab the objective that is on his side of the board. So I've secured the one objective on the one side of the board, and now I need to push through and stop him from getting through. So these poor Pathfinders were left behind, and so now they have to die. So the Hormagaunts are going to charge up here, and the Trigon is going to run. Unfortunately, he is not going to be able to fit in there to be able to charge in, so he's going to be open to being fired at. Then the Zoanthrope sucks out some brains and gets a couple wounds, and then he moves up. His run is only a 2, unfortunately. If I had rolled a really high run, he could have actually moved up pretty far and gotten into range of his guys during their shooting phase, forced them to fall back, which would have been a big deal for the Dark Reapers, because if they move, they can't fire. Then the Hormagaunts are going to charge up into that combat as well. So the attack against the Rangers, you can probably guess what's going to happen here, as there are a lot of attacks. And once again, I think I only did half my attacks. And the Pathfinder, I keep calling them Rangers. They are Pathfinders. Pathfinders have died because of these Hormagaunts. And then they're going to spread out so that the Fire Prism doesn't have quite as much of an effect on them. Doesn't get to just drop a blast template and destroy pretty much every last one of them, because they have no cover against him right now. So just spreading them out a bit there. And then going to... what are we attacking here? Here we go. He attacks my Gene Stealers, and we're just starting that fight there. I managed to pick off one of his Dire Avengers there, and he's attacking back with the Hormagaunts. And you can see lots of guys are going back and forth and dying. Of course, I get one less attack because his Exarch is still alive. And the combat was actually pretty uneventful there. Not very many people died, and so I just pile in. Going into Eldar turn 3. Sorry if I didn't sound too excited right there, but, you know, combats that don't really do anything are kind of not exciting. The whole squad of Eldret's, what's his face? His squad move away from the Doom of Malachi. Obviously, they don't want to be anywhere near him. And then his jet bikes move up. One of them falls off the cliff. Unfortunately, that does not count as it dying, so it gets put back. His Fire Prism moves over to protect his Dark Reapers from a charge, and then he opens fire, wanting to take that Trigon down as much as he can. Now, he did put Doom on the Trigon, and he's got Guide on his own guys, so he's re-rolling to hit and rolling to wound. That was actually Mind Warp that he did there, but he did not manage to do any wounds. And now he's just opening fire as much as he can. And he manages to do quite a few wounds. I fail a bunch of them, so I'm down to 2 out of my 6 wounds. I unfortunately really whiffed my 3+ save there. The Dark Reapers fire next, and of course they've got AP3, so they finish off the Trigon. So unfortunately I lose my second of 3 Synapse creatures. But what are you going to do? He fires the Fire Prism, it scatters back, hits the squad of guys that actually get cover, and only one of them dies because I had a cover save against that blast. So not much happens right there. Then he opens fire and takes out another Termagant. Now he's going to try to take these 3 guys down so they can't hold the objective, but unfortunately they only get 1 hit, and that 1 hit fails to roll a 2+. So, as you can see, not going very well for that firing. Then we have the Doom of Malachi. We actually forgot to do the Doom of Malachi at the beginning, so we did it at the end of the shooting phase. Didn't matter really much. He did manage to kill a couple of them. They did get cover saves, which, you know, makes perfect sense that you get cover saves against a psychic attack. That just sucks your soul out of your body. You know, if a guy's in the way, I have a harder time sucking the soul out. But, you know, but it goes through your armor. And I'm joking in case you don't understand, if you don't get that. I think that's the dumbest FAQ I've ever seen. That grants cover saves, and you can't go into vehicles with the Doom of Malachi. But anyway, besides that, hitting the guys, do lots of hits, and then I roll really crappy on the wounds. Luckily get to re-roll. Still roll pretty crappy, and he fails one of them. So his squad is getting slowly whittled down, or maybe that was him killing me. Doesn't really matter. This combat continues kind of the way it is. I lose combat. My Gene Stealers do not run, but my Hormagaunts do. Now here's the big problem. Those Hormagaunts running, there's no Synapse nearby to regroup, and they are below 50% strength. So as you're going to see, they are pretty much not going to be able to be used for the rest of the game. So at the end of round 3, you can see the rounds are moving faster now. That kind of happens when half the army is already dead. So you just pan around right here. You see the jet bikes and his guys right here. It looks really bad for him, but at the same time, he is whittling down my army rather quickly. I only have one Synapse creature left, which is the Hive Tyrant. The Doom Malatai is not Synapse. He actually takes instinctive behavior rolls. Now, he's got a leadership of 10, so that's okay. But if he fails it, he has to feed. So we're going to go right into Tyranids turn 4 to see what it is that I'm able to do to come back and or to try to kind of seal the deal with this game or try not to die. These guys continue to run. They're not in Synapse. There's no way for them to regroup, so they are not going to really be able to do anything. The other guys fail their instinctive behavior check and are forced to feed, so they run away from the objective towards the jet bikes, who they will not be able to get to. Then the Gene Stealers move up, and they grab the objective, so that they just have it just in case the game ends early. Won't end on turn 4, but you never know. The Doom moves up. He does not try to do difficult terrain because that might actually make him move less than he can move up to that cliff. He'll instead run up the cliff. Don't bother trying to do my Psychic Shot because I have to roll 3d6 with his Eldrazi's special power there. All the Hormagaunts are running up, trying to get in there. The Termagants are going to run into terrain and grab this objective and just try to hold in there with their area terrain and be able to hold that for themselves. The Hive Tyrant moves up, and he runs, actually, because we really need that Synapse cover. And the Hive Tyrant is really hard to kill. He's got a 2+ armor save, and I gave him regeneration as well, so he's going to be a tough nut to crack. The Doom Malatai is in range of all the squads, so we roll for the Dark Reapers first, and they make their leadership roll. They make their leadership roll, and they fail their leadership roll by 1. So one guy dies from all of that, bringing him up to 9 wounds and 9 strength. And then I shoot with my Termagants because, hey, you never know. Made a squad of Striking Scorpions run. Managed to pick off one of his Guardians. Doom Malatai then runs up, which means I'll be in range of the Dark Reapers still. I charge his Fire Prison not because I can hurt it, but because it allows my guys to move up an extra 6 inches, which is kind of a nice little tactic right there. And then this fight, finally his Exarch is dead, so I don't lose any attacks. I get 2 rending hits on him and a regular wound. And the last of those Avengers is finally dead, which was a really annoying squad. Managed to tie up my guys for quite a while. His Fire Prism tank shocks through my Hormagaunts, who are fearless, so they just stay where they are. He moves over his Dire Avengers, getting ready to, or his Guardians, sorry, getting ready to open fire on whatever it is they decide to kill. There's still lots of Hormagaunts left, so he really wants to kill them. The jet bikes move over, ready to shoot the 3 Hormagaunts who are not running. The other Hormagaunts are not going to be able to regroup because they just don't have anything nearby. During the shooting phase, he has to make his leadership test on 3 dice, and he makes it with the 1 group, which unfortunately means I do not kill any more of the Dark Reapers. The Fire Prism opens fire, but it scatters and only manages to kill 3 or 4 of the Hormagaunts, which is unfortunate for him. And then he fires with his other weapon too and manages to kill another couple of them. And then his Guardians open fire. He's got the Mind, some sort of Psystorm type thing. I know that's from StarCraft. I don't remember the name of the thing from his Eldrazi does, but it basically doesn't scatter, does a bunch of damage, and he actually manages to only kill, or it actually does pretty well. He kills like 7 of them. I don't know how many. There was a lot dead. And then his Dark Reapers are attacking them. Oh, that was also all the fire from his squad as well. So the Guardians managed to kill 7 of them. The Dark Reapers managed to kill more of them. There's only 2 left. Opens fire on these 3 poor Hormagaunts, and once again you can probably guess the outcome. All 3 die. And then the assault move, he moves further back. That way he's holding the objective because my Hormagaunts cannot contest it while they are running back. End of round 4. I'm not sure if you can call this game. I sure couldn't at this point. Of course I know how it ends, but I'm not going to give that away. My Hormagaunts are running. The jet bikes have the objective. Termagants are moving up, but they're just Termagants, so that's not too big a deal. Hormagaunts are all dead, except for like 2 of them. And there's 2 Gene Stealers left. The Doom Malatai, he's going to be a problem for the Eldar because he's got 9 wounds, and he doesn't really have anything to insta-kill it, unless he manages to get a direct hit. And my Gene Stealers are holding the other objective. So I have 2 objectives. He only has 1. But we're about to enter round 5, which could be the last round, so stay tuned. And post a comment below who you think is going to win based off of everything you've seen. And I will see you in round 5.
Visit miniwargaming.com to see our videos 1 month early.